Your meta ads didn't break. The rules just changed in late 2024 and matured in 2025. If you've been on Twitter for any amount of time, specifically in the D2C world, you're going to think that Andromeda just happened on Meta. Let me tell you, it did not, but things have gotten harder recently. Today, I'm going to show you our 7-day rebuild to get profitable on Meta ads again. Guys, if your CAC spiked and your evergreen winners died, it is because Meta's Andromeda retrieval engine now picks ads differently. And I have been talking about this on this channel and on Twitter and LinkedIn for quite some time. So today I'm going to give you a 3-step playbook, a weekly cadence, and a simple MER guardrail. Let's get into it and talk all about this today. Now, let's go back and do a little bit of history. So December 2nd, 2024, Meta publicly details Andromeda. It's the next generation personalized ads retrieval system, replacing heuristics with end-to-end machine learning. The robot is real. What they're saying is that there was 6% uplift in recall and an 8% uplift in ad quality on these selected segments. So awesome. That is great, and that is good for overall for advertisers, but overall it's just great for users of the platform, right? And that's the whole idea. Some principles that you need to remember about Facebook marketing and any platform in general is that they are your business partner. The whole goal for them is to get you to spend more money on the platform advertising, and then the only possible way that they can do that and that you can do that is by having a great ads experience, right? Now, let's talk about early to mid 2025. There was wider adoption, right? Advertisers started to feel turbulence, and you've seen that all over Twitter, right? As this happens and as the system reweights what good looks like. So creative diversity, engagement quality, stable learning. Industry analysts and practitioners started reporting mixed short-term results right around mid 2025, right? Bottom line, this is not a toggle. This is the new backbone of meta delivery, and you might have to start thinking about your meta ads in a different way. And it's especially powering Advantage Plus. It is here to stay. So why does performance feel so bad right now? Number one is novelty bias and fatigue. Winners are dying faster. And for me, and you guys know me as talking a lot about TikTok Shop, we're very, very used to this on TikTok, right? That is TikTok's algorithm. Winners die really, really fast. And so we never get too precious about our winners. But in Andromeda, winners are dying faster. The platform rewards fresh, varied creatives. Now, there is an over-segmentation penalty here. And again, we have been using this same sort of idea. And if you go back into a previous video where I talk about my flex ad strategy, this is what this strategy is all about and how it's trying to lean into Andromeda. So you guys can go back and watch that one. If you just search flex ads on my channel, you'll be able to find it in there. So tiny ad sets starve learning. Broad wins. Just remember this. Broad, broad, broad. And I'll get into why exactly that is in a minute. Engagement is more important than click-through rates. So saves, comments, shares, those all correlate with better delivery right now. And learning resets. So this is another big thing that we've really noticed and that we've seen a lot of research out there on is that constant tweaking is restarting optimization. You need to be patient. Feed the machine a lot and then be patient. All right. Let's talk about creative. So creative really is the new targeting. And I know that we've heard that for a while, but I will tell you with Andromeda, it is true. And I think in a large way, they're actually taking a lot of this targeting knowledge from TikTok and TikTok Shop specifically and GMV Max specifically. So if you go into some of my videos about GMV Max, that is what this is all about. And I really, truly believe that Meta is seeing what is happening over on TikTok, and they're starting to see dollars leave Meta and go over to TikTok, specifically TikTok Shop. And that's why they are putting some of this in. And I also really do believe that it's creating a better user experience overall. So let's talk about how creative is the new targeting. So your objective is to replace one hero ad with volume and variety. And again, I've been talking about this for a long time, but I don't think a lot of brands are really understanding what this exactly means. So run 8 to 15 distinct concepts per ad set. Now, distinct concept in my mind is one flex ad. So we're talking about 8 to 15 flex ads. Within those flex ads, just remember that you can have 10. We've even had up to 15 images. I don't know why it says max 10, but it lets us put up to 15 different types of creative in there. Just remember that we're running all of those within one single ad. That is literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions of different variations that are all within there. Think that these 8 to 15 distinct concepts are not trims of the same UGC. These are problem, demo, founder selfie, social proof, offer, meme, skit, unboxing, lifestyle, all different angles on the product, right? Now, what we're seeing is that some of the bigger practitioners out there, and just remember at Social Commerce Club, guys, we still spend like tens of millions of dollars on Meta every month. I know you know us as the TikTok shop people, but like we run performance marketing in a huge way. And practitioner guidance and Meta's emphasis on creative diversity in the Andromeda era plays out. Your ads find their audience via signals, not via interest stack. And we've known that for a long time, but really. Now, let's talk about the second thing here, and that is simplify to scale. And let's talk through the structure that I really think that most brands should be running out there. And if you guys have watched any of my recent content, you'll know I've been going through and having these great debates with other people in the space. But at the end of the day, this is really what I am going to recommend to you guys is one prospecting campaign, one broad ad set, and that's just geo and age. That's it, right? Also, in this day and age, you need to have Advantage Plus placements on. Now, this is really scary because we've seen some stuff out there with some weird AI versions of ads. I will tell you, it is still outperforming even when we see those outliers in ad accounts. It's still performing. And then we're going to have one warm. So this is a single campaign, 1 to 2 ad sets. These are just for engagers. If you can, have the heart to do it, just put all of those into one campaign. My suggestion is really one campaign per business objective. And so if your business objective is to sell baby clothes, put all of it in there. Remember, the less learning that Meta has to do through different ad sets, the better. Right? That is how you are going to win. Remember, Andromeda's retrieval benefits from bigger signal proofs, right? And Advantage Plus is just continuing to crush on top of funnel when you actually feed it proper. Now, let's talk about signals and engagement being more important than click-through rate. So feed clean outcomes and spark conversation. And this is why the unicorn method works so incredibly well, right? What works engagement-wise, generally from an organic standpoint, is generally going to work incredibly well when it comes to actually putting stuff out there for ads, right? Like we see this all the time. It's like, just take your top performing posts and run them as ads. That is what Meta wants. That is how people engage with your content. And that, again, is why TikTok is crushing in so many ways. I know we're talking about Meta here, but just look at TikTok content, right? For those of you who are raised in Instagram world, which I was too, right? Like that's how we built our brands, was on Instagram organic content. This is the new way, right? So number one, you need to implement the conversions API. I can't believe I have to say this, but the amount of brands that I still see that don't have CAPI, especially smaller brands that do not have CAPI, is wild. Go get Upstack. They're great. This isn't sponsored by them or anything, but like Upstack's a great one that you can do. And then I went out, there's Popsicle spelt with an X. They're great as well. Remember, write ads like social posts, invite responses, and moderate comments daily. Another little bonus here is use ManyChat, right? So if you're going to run an ad, use ManyChat where you're actually trying to get people to comment for whatever the next step is, because then you're going to actually get them into your funnel on ManyChat as well. Again, I should probably do an entire walkthrough of ManyChat sometime. Just an incredible tool for anybody marketing on Meta. Let me know down in the comments if you want that. Just say ManyChat and I will, if I get 10 of them, I will do it for you guys. Track an engagement composite. So what I'm talking about is comments plus shares plus saves per 1,000 impressions. So the rationale is that Meta cited a lift in ad quality and return on ad spend with Advantage Plus usage. Engagement quality is the strongest relevance signal post Andromeda. I'm going to say that one more time. Engagement quality is the strongest relevant signal post Andromeda. All right, let's talk about the 7-day Andromeda rebuild here. So number one is audit the data, look at your pixel CAPI setup, make sure you look into some of the deduping, all of that kind of stuff, really important. Consolidate is number two. Number three is load 8 to 15 unique creative types. I recommend within Flex ads. For me, that's where I've seen the best best performance, and it's not even close. Set your budgets as high as possible into broad and top of funnel. Even in today's day and age, I would almost recommend putting everything in there. Let it learn. Do not edit for 5 to 7 days, right? Moderate though daily. Have somebody in there checking comments, responding to comments, and this is potentially where you could put in ManyChat as well, which could be really, really great. Refresh the bottom 20% weekly, right? Take those losers out, put new ones in. This is really, really important. Look at some of your copy as well, right? Write as though you're writing organically. That is a massive, massive thing. So if you follow all of that, I can almost guarantee you that you are going to recover a profitable MER within the next 14 days. This is the craziest thing that I have seen. A lot of these winners actually had a lower click-through rate, but way more saves. Now think about how word of mouth marketing happens, and just stick around and be with me here just for 1 second. Word of mouth marketing is the most powerful marketing that you could have as a brand. How does that happen? Well, a huge amount of that happens on saves and sends. That is what you were looking for, right? Those are the signals that you're looking for. You're looking for engagement. People are not robots. This is why multi-touch attribution is such BS in my mind. So it doesn't actually paint an entire story at all. Now, there are robots out there. We are going to talk about what exactly agentic commerce looks like, and I will do a video on that in the future. But to me, this is really, really important. So let me know down in the comments if you have any questions about this, but with Andromeda, this is the playbook. Share this with a friend of yours. If this is something that you have been struggling with or they've been struggling with, please share this with a friend. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and good to see you all again. See ya.